If you think about, for example, the one drop laws that gave us black and white people in the first place, right? One drop, I mean, what kind of language is that, right? One drop of black blood makes a person black. Evermore. I mean, well, that's rather rigid. And that for some people, in either some circumstances or in some bodies, there is nothing at all that is fluid and malleable about racial identification. So I think that it's an incredibly interesting topic, these systems of classification and what they mean, and what is particularly American about the way that it's played out over several hundred years. Yes, I don't know if that's really any different from in the past. I mean, if you think about all of the different things, let us say that, you know, I more commonly say black people only because that's sort of what I was raised on, right? I mean, what you start out calling the people who you know who you're talking about. Just because there's a press conference in whenever it was, 1998, and Jesse Jackson says African Americans now. These things evolve, and we've cycled through a few things more than once. Around the turn of the century, many black people called themselves Afro-Americans, one word. You see that in a lot of the intellectual material at the turn of the century. So these things cycle. There's a poem that I love by Gwendolyn Brooks where she says, "I am black. I am one of the blacks. We occur everywhere. Don't call me out of my name." And it's in the voice of a child, and the premise of the poem is that the teacher has said, "We are now African Americans." But what this child holds on to about being called black is that he wants to be understood as part of a diaspora of black people. And so I think that's very interesting as well. How the sense of sort of nation converges with a racial understanding of self. I don't think this moment is any different from before. And I guess that, what I would follow, which seems to me to be common courtesy, is to call people what they wish to be called.